Today, we'll be tasting some bourbon. Our first guest is Tyler, who is with the Ampera Foundation. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to see you here down in Austin, having some whiskey. I mean, and then at a crypto conference. There's not much better, right?
We're not drunk yet, so maybe that will make it.
Yeah, you didn't mention it. We're gonna blind taste these.
We are
which
gonna
makes
blind
it
taste.
That's much more of a challenge, right? As a self-professed whiskey connoisseur, if I don't do well on this, I'm not gonna feel great about it.
Tell me more about your passion for whiskey.
Man, I've been interested in whiskey since, I can remember. For a lot of travel, I'd go to a lot of different distilleries across the world. Now in the U.S., obviously, you have all sorts of different types of bourbons, but out throughout Europe, the U.K., Scotland, obviously. Now Southeast Asia, even Japan, Taiwan. Great stuff out there too.
Okay.
So man, all of it, all different types of whiskey, like visiting the distilleries, getting some of the more unique bottles, and trying it all out.
Okay. By the way, what's the difference between bourbon and whiskey?
Oh, good question. So, bourbon is a subset of whiskey. So, whiskey is everything, right?
Okay.
The way to think about it is you can basically make whiskey out of anything that'll just ferment, right?
Okay.
Take anything. You ferment it, you make alcohol out of it. And then essentially you sort of like have vodka almost, and then you can distill it multiple times, and then you just put it in a barrel, and then it becomes whiskey. So even if it's something like beer,
Yeah.
right? All you do is you malt barley,
Yeah.
and then you create beer. But you actually would create beer first, and then boil all the alcohol out, and then go put that in a barrel, and then it becomes whiskey. So it's all kind of the same process of how something that will ferment to create alcohol, and then kind of what you do with it.
And then bourbon is what?
Bourbon is that process, although it's the majority made from corn.
Okay.
So again, you can ferment anything.
Yeah.
There's rules, right? Everyone wants to put the rules, right? If you have something in Scotch, they have rules. Not only does it have to be made in Scotland, but they have a whole bunch of rules to call something Scotch.
Okay.
Same thing for bourbon.
Okay.
And that to be called bourbon, there's some rules. The simple ones, not going into all of them,
Okay.
has to be majority made out of corn.
Okay.
And that also needs to be the barrel you put it in has
Okay.
to be a first fill American oak barrel. American. And you do that, those are some of the steps to getting up bourbon.
The best oak in the world.
It can be.
American.
It does
For-
taste really good.
All right, let's taste it. So this bourbon, the first one, presents a complex and inviting aroma featuring a blend of sweet and spicy elements. You may detect notes of honey, caramel, and vanilla, along with a pronounced rye spiciness. There are also hints of dried fruit and might end in gentle oakiness.
Okay. A little bit soft. I'm definitely have to go, and we have to pick which ones we like the most. That's going to be the whole key to
We were
this.
going to rank it.
Yeah.
I think I feel a little gentle oakiness, a sweet caress of oakiness, if you will. So give me your thoughts.
I don't really like this one.
You don't like this
I
one.
don't be, but see, I'm also starting off early, so maybe that'll change.
We need to wet our palate.
Yeah.
Now, do you think we should take a sip of water between? Is that
That's
Or no?
So that's the best part. Whiskey, it is. People say, "Do I need to put ice in it?
Yeah.
Do I not put ice? What kind of glass?"
Yeah.
The best answer is does not matter.
really?
Doesn't. Well, it can matter to you, but there's no rules. It's
Okay.
drink the whiskey if you like it, man. And if
Okay.
you like the
Okay.
$1,000 bottle, the $10 bottle, whether it's bourbon or whether it's malted barley, right? Just drink and enjoy. It's very welcoming.
Okay.
I view it. I've joked about this sort of previously that whiskey is more like the Ethereum community of we're going to work together, we're having a good time, right?
Yeah.
And build something valuable, and we enjoy this, and we support each other,
Sure.
and it's how you want to do it. Yeah, that's kind of my. And then whereas like, wine might be more of the Bitcoin crew of this is our thing and this is how you do it, and everything else we don't care about, and there's
Okay.
all this restrictions to it. So
Yeah.
Should we do the next one? I want
Absolutely.
to try to compare some of these
Absolutely.
to get.
Let's do number 2.
'Cause I'm not ready to make any judgments yet.
All
I
right.
will say, opening myself up that in knowing what they are,
Yeah.
the Angel's Envy I really like, and so if I can't
Pick it
pick
out.
that out, I'm gonna have to reassess some of my life decisions, and maybe it's all been a lie.
This wheated bourbon, a wheated bourbon. What does that mean?
To be a bourbon, still have to be more than 50%
Yeah,
corn.
yeah.
But that means there's then a percentage of wheat also added into it. They call the mash bill.
Okay.
The mash bill is sort of like the ingredient list
Okay.
of like what are the items that are used
Okay.
to create.
So not every bourbon has a wheat.
Correct. In fact, most bourbons don't.
Okay.
Or if they do, it's a very much lower wheat content. So this one is made a
wheated, they're
Yeah.
putting the wheat forward.
exactly.
They're wheat forward.
It's absolutely
They're gluten maximalists.
progressive wheat.
This wheated bourbon presents a complex and inviting aroma. You may detect notes of caramel, dark chocolate, and vanilla, along with a prominent oak presence.
I got
A
some oak at the
soft,
prominence.
Yeah, well, oak is it's
That's it.
It's all oak.
That is the thing.
A soft, sweet, and creamy texture. There's also hints of something fruit, such as raisins or dried fruit, such as raisins or figs, and the touch of leather and tobacco.
Leather and tobacco. That's always sometimes interesting when you see some of
I
the.
definitely smell a sweetness on there.
You don't often affiliate leather with something that you want to be drinking.
Why?
But-
It's got a homey feel. It's got. So it just on the smell, if you smell this and this smells much weaker, much like this has more presence,
Yeah,
and you can
this
even see
definitely
it.
has some-
You can even see it in the color.
That's right. Some brands or some types of whiskeys put coloring in it, whereas bourbon does not.
Who puts coloring? Like in a margarita mix.
No, there's quite a few. I'd have to like look at them. That they'll say it on the bottle when
really?
they disclose it. But generally, to fit in these categories, they don't. That one's got a wheat punch to it. You can definitely feel that.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not picking up on the wheat,
No.
but it definitely, as I was saying, it's got more presence. It's got more. It's more robust than
Stuff happening. In
than
that.
this one.
More simple. That one's. You're right. You're definitely right.
Oh my
That
god!
was a ringing endorsement right there on that one.
Excuse me. I went down the wrong pipe. Tell me what your most unique experience at a distillery has been. You've been to many distilleries. You said you were over at 100 distilleries, actually. So what's the most unique?
Yeah.
What was the most exciting?
I'd say maybe one that was more funny was the first time I ever went to Islay. I actually went up from Northern Ireland, and so there was a ferry that you could take up to Islay. It was maybe like an hour and a half ferry
Okay.
or something.
Okay.
And it was something that the proprietor in Northern Ireland had set up as like just a back and forth one day there and then back, and it's just a route that they offer.
Okay.
I had brought 2 massive duffel bags because I knew what I was there for. And I figured this was like, I figured it out, right? Or like I'm doing something more unique and like,
Okay.
and so I have this, they're under the seat or whatever. And I'm sitting there, we're on the boat. And it was really small. And I was talking to the guy and he's like, yeah, this is great. You opened up this route. It's really convenient to be able to go into Scotland and see Islay. It was a beautiful day. He's like, yeah, there isn't that much demand for it, but you get the crazy whiskey people that come in and they use this route and they bring their duffel bags with them to bring all the and I'm just kind of like, oh, you don't say. so he actually didn't know. Here I'm thinking like, I've got some like unique plan, and it's like, no, I'm exactly like,
Everyone's schlepping.
I'm like exactly part of like the customer base. But then, I filled those bags to their entirety, and I made sort of the boat back within maybe like 30 seconds of its departure because it was so heavy and they were so full that I actually couldn't like walk back quickly enough. That it was just completely full. It was probably maybe 30 bottles or so.
Well, can't you just order online? Why? What's the?
No, these places probably don't even, I don't even know if they even have Wi-Fi service. Some of them
Oh,
at this
really?
point. Yeah, there's probably more sheep in these towns than the people, to be
Yeah.
totally honest. And so they're very, out there. They won't see a person for miles, right? Like there's just nothing there. It's like just in country and sheep.
And whiskey.
Lots of whiskey. Lots
All
of
right,
whiskey.
let's get number 3 going. This is like Passover. 4 cups, 5 bourbons. All right, this bourbon presents a combination of sweet with gentle notes of vanilla, cut hay and oaky aromas. Cut hay, that's a new one. You might detect notes of vanilla, caramel, and toasted oak, along with hints of corn and a subtle touch of spice, due to its rye content.
And yeah, I will say, this is actually fairly hard for me, to be totally honest, in that I'm not much of a rye drinker at all. I as I mentioned, some of the other bourbons or scotches, or just malted barley in general, I'm not that big into rye. So these are a little harder for me, as I can't even recognize or even like kind of detect some of those notes quite the same.
It's definitely got a different flavor. It definitely has a different taste to it than
From the wheat. Yeah, it's a considerably different between these two. Let's see.
It is more similar to the first one in terms.
This one's got definitely the paint thinner style taste to it now, relative to these more sophisticated ones.
Where do you see that paint thinner
I don't know,
on the notes?
the marketing language. They don't really go for that one of the paint thinner. Well, how about you? Which of these do you like the best so far?
So far, I'm liking this.
This one.
This second one, it has the most presence to it.
I would strongly agree.
It's got the most
It does.
character. These are kind of like watered down in a way comparatively. It's firm. It's like a firm handshake.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
I met SBF one time, and he had the weakest handshake I've ever felt, and I should have known. You can't be.
Why didn't you warn us?
You can't be signing deals with Tom Brady with a weak handshake. I mean,
Apparently you can.
well, it didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. It does not compute. What was the first whiskey not you tasted, but the first one that maybe inspired you?
I don't know if I've ever necessarily been inspired by alcohol. Not in a, but
Inspired to get more into it is what I'm saying.
it couldn't be more simpler that I just liked it.
Yeah.
Like it was probably like college years almost of just like when you're trying out different alcohols and what you like, and I had this weird gravitation of, and it's interesting because most people hate whiskey at like that sort of stage, like people like beer, the wine, or like vodka or rum, right, and all the mixers and things. I just never really got into that. It just never was. It's not that I disliked it, but I loved this, and the even right here, right, we've got 3 glasses already. They taste very different. Yeah.
So you didn't envision the duffel bags
I did
when
not.
you first got into it?
I did not.
Is that peak whiskey degeneracy for you, bringing those duffel bags on?
Yeah. And checking them back on like planes, right? Because you can learn all the tricks of like how you can have enough of them in certain checked luggage, what the limitations are. Because if you want to try to bring back like 50 bottles of alcohol,
it's gonna be a problem.
You have to creative solutions basically to enable that.
Sure.
So yeah, there's been times where I've showed up at an airport, an international flight with like 6 suitcases, and you figure it out, and that's sort of happens sometimes. So
We're on to number 4 here. This wheated bourbon presents a rich, full aroma with a good balance of sweetness and warmth. You may detect notes of caramel, butterscotch, vanilla, and accompanied by hints of dark fruits like cherries or plums. There is also a subtle presence of oak and a touch of spice due to its higher proof. So wheated.
This one's a little hot. I can
Hot.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Higher alcohol content. Just kind of feels the warmth on your tongue. So this is definitely the highest proof that we've had so far. Not by a high margin, but it can't actually be they haven't done as great of a job to kind of
mask it in a way.
Yeah, like sometimes you can get some of these other notes that will like really kind of smooth out some of the higher alcohol content, or you can always cut it with water or adjust the taste like to as you like it. But this one, it comes out a little more, which I like how they wrote it in there. They're basically saying like we're going to own that.
Yeah.
Like it is a little hotter, and that's part of what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, not crazy, but probably like, I bet you in the 50s, 50, 55 proof, something like that. It's a guess, but I'd say this one's definitely by far the highest alcohol content.
I'm still liking this one. I'm still liking this one.
I would be on, for me, definitely. These are actually pretty similar. Yeah, not so much my thing, this one, but definitely it is. I like how it's got a uniqueness though, so it does stand out. I like.
All right, final bourbon here. We've had quite a journey so far. This bourbon presents a complex and inviting aroma, influenced by the port wine barrel finishing. Hold on. You said that needs to be an oak.
It is. The first aging
Yeah.
has to then be in the American oak, which is absolutely true.
Oh, so they do multiple.
Finishing, so that was the key word. And so after they've aged it in the American oak,
Okay.
they put it into another cask.
How long is it finishing?
Finishing can be any amount of time. Typically, it's going to be like 3 months, 3 to 6 months. I've seen,
okay,
but it can be long. You can actually age again, but finishing is typically you'll see dual barrel or double barrel or like multiple casks where you can age them as long as you want. Finishing typically is a smaller, like kind of that slight process, because otherwise you get a little too much of that flavor. It's really just kind of like an icing, right? A little bit of
The cherry on
extra.
top.
And
The
so
port
that-
on top.
Yeah.
All right. You may detect notes of caramel, vanilla, and toffee, along with a rich fruitiness reminiscent of ripe berries, plums, or currants. There's also a subtle hint of toasted oak and a touch of baking spices.
So
This is very dark.
So this is by far my favorite one, almost with no comparison to me personally. So I've either gotten exactly right what I had hoped, or I've made a very, very incalculable grave error. Because I love this one. Of all of these, this is the one for me personally.
This doesn't have that turpentine
Yeah.
layer there. It's a
That's
lot
what you can
cleaner.
get. That's what the finishing can often do, is you add in a little bit of this other complexity that can kind of just combine very nicely to get more of that smoothness. Not always, but sometimes. In this case, I think they've done a really good job with it. But again, I'm very biased because I don't know, right? So if I could be very wrong, and I will
don't
be
think you're
very
wrong.
stupid. So I'm setting myself up, but
I
this
don't
is the
think you're
one.
wrong because they're quite distinct.
We'll have to put them in order of what we like, as I think that we have to do this now. So
I have to do a little refresh. This one was ass. No
what
offense.
was that one? The third one?
Yeah.
I don't see that in the notes either. It says, I mean, that's the, so
This one I really didn't like.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me.
It's for
What do
me
you
dead
think?
last.
All right,
This I
okay.
would say fourth.
Keep them in line with this so we can see them. Yeah.
This one here.
You don't like this third one, huh?
Number 3 is ass.
so number 3, I like, because I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I bet this is a moderate priced bourbon.
Okay.
And it's smooth for what it is. And I think this is an easy drinking whiskey that has a little bit of, just a little bit of complexity, that's really smooth, really easy to drink. So I like this. I like number 3. But 2, 4, and 5 are just, they just have so much more going for them. But this I could drink regularly. I like this. The only one here that I would not want to drink is this.
This one.
Number 1.
Yeah, number 1 is not great.
Number 1's like paint thinner.
Not great.
Not my thing. I mean, you can even look at the color. Look how light it is.
Yeah.
It's just not even. This one just doesn't have a lot going. This is one of those.
Number 1.
Number 1 is going to be like a very simple, straight up 3-year whiskey. Like you buy it at the grocery store. Nothing wrong with it,
This is the
but
Jim.
not my favorite.
This is the Jim Beam. Right?
Could be a Jim Beam, something like that. Yeah.
I like this one. I kept number 2. I kept referring
two?
back to it.
All right. Number 2.
He's warm.
Is that your favorite? Number 2.
I think this is number 3. Number 4 we said would be my third favorite.
Okay. And what's your favorite? All right.
Now it's between these two bad boys.
Number 5 and number.
Number 5 and number 2.
All right.
Oh my god. I gotta stick with my boy right here.
All right.
I'm saying number 2. That's gotta be my favorite.
Number 2 you like the most.
Number 2 I like the most. Number 5, got to be number 2 for me. It's close. It's very close between those two.
Okay.
I think it's just kind of like
Preference.
preference at that point. Number 4 is very nice.
Okay.
I like this one a lot too. It's tasty. It's
Okay.
tasty.
All right.
And, you know,
So,
number
yeah,
3, number 1,
I think we're pretty similar.
I'm
Then.
gonna leave it behind.
So I'd even take a guess. I think I actually feel really comfortable about this. I'm really happy, despite being because I don't know what they are, but
Okay.
like I felt that it is aligned with what I would expect or I like.
Okay.
So I feel really good about how I
Okay.
put this. Like I could do it again and again because this is where they fit within my palate.
Yeah.
It works for me.
Okay.
I think number 1 is the Jim Beam.
Let's see. Number 1, open it up right now. And what do we got? Basil.
Ouch!
Hayden.
All right, Basil Hayden, you've let me down big time.
Basil Hayden.
Did not expect that. So Basil Hayden, man, because usually I would like that. So I'm very disappointed. So I've missed that one. So that was my least favorite.
Basil Hayden.
Yeah.
How about that? I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's really
Supposed to be decent?
yeah.
I guess not. Basil,
be.
step
Yeah.
up your game, people.
Yeah. So
All right, number 2. You want to take a guess?
so number 2 was my second favorite.
Yes.
I think that's the Pappy van Winkle.
All right, let's see.
That one to me was the most complex by far.
And
Seemed
you
to
are
have a lot-
correct. Pappy van
All right,
Winkle,
I got
Family
one.
Reserve, 13 year.
All right, so I got 1 now. All right, so that one I felt pretty confident in.
What's the price on this, by the way?
A few $1,000s maybe a bottle. So yeah, you can see the
$1,000.
difference, right?
That is.
it's so much.
What did I
simpler
tell you? Pappy sitting with his cigar on his ranch.
You got it exactly right.
That's exactly
you
Pappy.
Absolutely
I
called
felt
it.
Pappy in the glass.
And that was your favorite, right?
That was my favorite.
That was your favorite. That was my second favorite.
All right.
And then the third favorite,
Number 3.
which I actually was saying how great of a daily drinker it is.
Yes.
I would have thought this was the Basil Hayden, but this would probably, it has to be the Jim Beam. So that is a surprise upset. to
Jim
me.
Beam White Label.
Wow, Jim Beam has done well. With
What
this.
did I tell you, Jim?
Yeah, that
A little
was
bit
your
of ass.
ass. So
A little bit of
not
ass
little,
in
you
Jim.
were full fledged. This is ass. So you're yeah. I will admit, very thoroughly impressed by this one for what it is.
For what it is,
this
$20 a
solid.
bottle.
That is absolutely solid. That is a good. That's one of the best $20
I
you'll
don't like
spend.
it. I don't like it at all.
I'm not going to go say this is the greatest thing out there, but I truly
Pound
think
for
it's
pound.
better. It was better than the Basil Hayden to me. Yeah.
All right, number 4.
That is absolutely the Weller's.
Weller's.
That is a strongly weeded bourbon. That
Weller
comes
Antique,
right out.
107.
There you go, 107. I think I said it was 50-something proof, right? So it was right on.
Yep.
So yeah, that one is
53.
a very, very distinctive. That wheat. I mean, these two. That's why I was saying the two and the number 2 and number 4 were so similar. This one just had a lot more kind of kick to it, that heat. So
And last but not least, your favorite.
thankfully, that is
You
my
called
favorite.
it.
That is the Angel's
You
Envy.
called it
Very, very clearly. I'm very happy to
Angel's Envy.
clearly identify that one. That was a sort of like a good friend coming back to you after, you hadn't seen him in a little while, and you're just like, yeah, there it is.
Complex and
There it is.
inviting aroma, influenced by the port wine barrel finish.
Yeah. I just like that. It's like got that little bit of extra, that finish. That it's just the thing that works for me.
The
so that
cherry
was
on top.
Yeah, kind of seeing that one was like, that's it. Of all of these, clearly the one I would like the best. But man, we did a great job. We did not embarrass ourselves. Cheers to
Cheers.
that. Absolutely.
L'chaim.
How about we do a crypto blind?
Crypto blind taste test.
Blind. Whereas you have described these, we put together 5 prominent crypto projects.
Okay.
And what we did was we asked ChatGPT to say, summarize this website in like 2 sentences.
Okay.
So this is what has been provided to us as an overview of what these projects are.
Okay.
So first one, a decentralized blockchain platform for digital finance and dApps that uses proof of stake consensus as a layered architecture for scalability,
Okay.
interoperability,
Okay.
and governance.
Okay.
It aims to provide a sustainable infrastructure for the future of decentralized applications.
Okay.
So So let's put that one there. We're gonna rank them of what we like the most.
Okay,
Similarly,
that's either Ethereum or Cardano. I can't quite tell.
it could be a lot of things, honestly. So how did you get into crypto?
I got into crypto in 2021.
Wow, you're brand new.
I'm brand new.
Wow.
I'm a baby. There was a big crash, if you remember.
Little bit.
COVID crash.
I think, yeah.
Biden started talking about printing. You got to print to save the market. And that reminded me of something that I had learned about in the past, which was Bitcoin. So I just started to learn more about it. I mean, I'd heard about it in the past. I never spent a lot of time, but at that point, every day, researching, using, and from Bitcoin, I got to Ethereum, and Ethereum has especially at the time, also today, there's a lot more activity. There was a lot more building, especially then. It was just the very beginning, so it was a very exciting point. So yeah.
Similar for me is when I found Bitcoin. It was the same idea of this technology is super interesting. I've been in payments for a while. I understood that you don't know exactly how it's all going to pan out, but realizing that there's a lot of really interesting facets and how the technology can start to evolve. And for me, that's one thing I think a lot of people don't fully appreciate, which is, especially now, is Ethereum, open source, open products, reusability, interoperability. That allows the technology to grow so fast, and people can get going now. They have all these tools. You can now use a governance module or a transfer module or all these other token interfaces that are just available to you. So that allows us to build so incredibly quickly, like the whole Lego block analogy, right? So people, I think, appreciate how fast this industry will continue to build with lots of very valuable use cases, and how this all starts to evolve. It's been like that, I think, from the beginning of when it first started. Bitcoin, even Ethereum in its early stages, wasn't used quite as much, and now you're just seeing just crazy types of usage and new use cases, and what people are thinking about kind of putting this together, which is there's a lot of promise for what this stuff starts to look like. So let's see if we can get these right. We got
Go for it.
a global payment network
Yeah.
that uses blockchain technology and its native cryptocurrency as a bridge currency to enable fast, secure, and low-cost transactions across borders. It offers a more efficient alternative to traditional payment methods and has gained adoption from various financial institutions and partners. Have any ideas what that is?
That's honestly really tough.
It's-
Payment network, bridge currency.
Keep in mind, this is what
I think I have an idea, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
number 3,
Yeah.
a meme-based peer-to-peer digital currency,
Yeah.
but has since gained popularity as a fast and affordable means of online payment.
Okay.
Despite its playful origins, it has a dedicated user community and widespread adoption.
That's Doge.
Yeah, I think that's operating on a decentralized peer-to-peer network for secure borderless transactions without intermediaries. Its innovative technology, including the blockchain and public key cryptography, ensures network security and integrity, while the limited supply of deflationary nature makes it a unique store of value.
Deflationary nature.
Yeah, see,
that threw me off. That
this gets
one
tricky,
word right
right?
there. Wait, hold on.
Seems like Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, then they threw in deflationary.
You have
Could
to
be
remember,
a mistake on the ChatGPT
you're right,
part.
they're not infallible. That's what I was going to say. This is why this can get a little tricky, because it's interpretation of what
I would say this is Bitcoin.
it does sound like it. No one else really
If
uses
they
the
took
store
off the
of
word
value.
deflationary, then it 100% fits.
Okay. All right. I tend to agree. I like that.
There's
Also,
no-
that's number 4.
There's no deflationary limited. I mean, no. I mean, Bitcoin.
I guess if
ETH
people
would
keep,
be technically limited supply and deflationary, but it wouldn't be.
keep losing the keys, it could be deflationary.
Okay.
All right. A decentralized blockchain platform that enables developers to build and deploy smart contracts and dApps powered by its native cryptocurrency.
Oh God.
It aims to foster a global infrastructure for decentralized finance, gaming, and digital services through community-driven innovation.
Gaming. That's interesting. Let me see this one. This,
I'm gonna go back.
I
to
would
some of this
say,
whiskey here.
because they threw in gaming and DeFi, I would say this is Avalanche.
Interesting.
That would be
Okay.
my guess. It could be Polygon though. I mean,
I don't think there'd be anything unique to the layer 2 though. I'm guessing it's gonna be a layer 1, but I don't know. I actually don't know.
some of these are so similar. What the hell?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, that's almost indicative of how they. It's all marketing, right? Just like
Okay.
our tasting notes.
A decentralized blockchain platform for digital finance. So this I would say is Ethereum
Okay.
because it could be Cardano,
All right.
and this one.
So, the global payments network, I think it has a bridge currency to enable. Oh man. I will say, I think I know this one.
I would guess this is AMP.
No.
No.
I think because it specifically mentions the financial
Then it would be
institutions.
like XRP.
Yeah, I think so. And then it's got this other language, payments, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking this.
But
one is
what do
XRP.
XRP does payment?
I mean, that's a narrative for it. Because
Does
again,
it? I
this
have
is
no
from
idea.
the website.
I have no idea.
So it was Chat GPT
Yeah.
reading the website.
Yeah.
So we literally said, summarize this, right?
Right.
So that one, I think this could be XRP.
Yeah.
So I think then this last one, I don't know yet. Although you have me thinking about Cardano. I didn't think about
That's a little
Cardano.
bit of a twist in there.
But like this one, I
That's
think we both
Doge.
Doge.
sure.
We've got that. And then
Peer to peer, I'd say that's Bitcoin.
that
with
was
an
one.
error.
Yeah, because the store value, it's the only one that has I agree with you also.
Also limited supply.
Yeah, I agree. Or it's just a fake out and it's something else. Because they are popular, so we're not looking at like some
What has
other,
a
like,
limited supply? There's nothing.
Bitcoin Forks are the only ones that really have the limited
Yeah.
supply that they call out, like specifically. So I think I agree.
Deflationary nature. Maybe Litecoin is deflationary? No, it's just a
No,
copy.
they're the same. Yeah, they just have different different maximums, but no, it's the
This is
same
Bit-
thing.
Bit- Bitcoin, I would say.
And Bitcoin has to be in here.
Yeah, it's
I
gotta
think
be. It's
there.
not-
That is the big. It is. There, that's Bitcoin. And then this one,
This is tough. I would say, just because of gaming, I don't know. It would
so
have to be a newer L1 because
see,
gaming is like kind of a new.
I'm going to take the opposite. I think this is Ethereum.
No.
Yeah.
Who builds a
because
game on Ethereum?
There's some games on Ethereum.
What?
There's been.
Like the Dark Forest
and-
game, but that's like
And again, it doesn't necessarily say that gaming is on. So I think that it's just more. So what I read, to me, of all of these, that reads to be the most like multi-purposed,
yeah.
and that just seems like something that would be in that. That's just me. I could be completely wrong. So I
Digital
actually think
services? That sounds like some marketing.
that's true.
Digital services? What does that mean?
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Vitalik's not giving you any digital services.
That's true. I think yeah. And then that one, I don't know what this one is.
That's Ethereum.
Do you like that as Ethereum? You biased me, and now I think it could be Cardano.
It could be Cardano.
That's okay. Ready?
All right, let's see. 1, 2. Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
This is
Ethereum.
All right.
All right.
Fair enough.
So
I'm
now
surprised. I'm
you're
really
gonna be the
surprised.
Cardano shill from here on out.
I can't believe that. Gaming though, I've never heard Vitalik speak about gaming.
Yeah, I just thought because it was a lot of things, right? And so to me, whenever something is more multi-purposed, like again, right or wrong, I just felt that language.
I was
made
right
sense.
about the Cardano. I can't believe that.
Ah, man, I think we generally agree on these. This one I thought was XRP,
Okay, let's do this
and
one.
then I think we got Bitcoin, and then I think we got Doge, which I
All
think
right.
we agreed with.
All right, let's see right
So
here.
this one,
XRP.
there we go. All right,
Correct.
that one seemed, yeah, it had some of those trigger words.
Yep.
This one is Dogecoin.
Yep.
So we
And
both
last
agreed
but not
with that.
least, operating a decentralized peer-to-peer network for secure borderless transactions. Public
Think that-
key. What the hell did we?
That was the one we
this
thought was Bitcoin. Yeah, I think so. It's got some of the words. That,
Big Daddy Bitcoin.
Otherwise, that one's a trick.
Let's see.
Unless you think it's Bitcoin
It
Cash.
is
I mean, you
Bitcoin.
like some of the
Bitcoin it is.
fantastic. All right. We did good on that.
Ah, Charles fooled me.
I think we did really well. That was pretty good. We
did
got
well.
good on the whiskey and good on the tokens.
Good job.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Well, this
done,
was
sir.
fun, man.
Absolutely, dude.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by, man.